Thank you, Gina, so much for that introduction, and thank you all for being here. It's very full circle and special for me to be back standing right in front of you all today. This story begins the spring of my 8th grade year at Our Lady of Victory. School was winding down, summer was coming, and almost every single one of my friends was headed to Merucci in the fall. Unfortunately, I was not. We couldn't afford Merucci. My mom was a single parent of 4. I was the oldest. My dad had passed, and we didn't have a financial safety net. We lost our home. Merucci wasn't in the cards. I understood what that meant, and I also knew that I wasn't willing to ask for more than what we already had. The last thing that I wanted to do was make my mom feel guilty and feel like she'd let me down. So I didn't. I had already changed schools twice in 2 years. I knew how to start over. I knew how to walk into a room where no one knew my name and just figure out how to belong. I was good at starting over. I just didn't want to have to do it again. I remember one specific night, lying in bed and typing in my notes app. Going to Merucci feels like holding on to a lifeline. I would picture myself here, with my friends in these hallways, and I would feel something loosen in my chest. But again, I was realistic. I knew what our financial situation was. So I made my graduation candle with our public school colors, and I made peace with it. And then one day, just weeks before freshman year was about to start, my mom told me we were going for a surprise car ride. The moment she told me where we were going, I broke down, and so did she. She was driving me to Merucci to take my entrance exam and register. I laid my head in her lap, and we both cried the entire way there. Not because we just knew that everything was going to work out, but because for the first time in a long time, we had chosen hope over logic. What I didn't know, though, was how much was going on behind the scenes. My mom couldn't stand to see me settle for less than what she thought and knew I wanted. So she began making calls. She reached out to people she trusted, asked for guidance, asked for advice, asked for help. Those people showed up. They made introductions. They gave their time, they gave their energy, and they gave their faith. And one of those calls led to a prayer. A beautiful prayer to the Blessed Mother for strength, trust, and hope. My grandpa, he taped that prayer above his desk, and my grandma kept it in the visor of her car. And they said that prayer every day until I walked through those doors. I can't name every person who stepped in. Some I know, but many I don't. But when Merucci said yes, it wasn't just one yes. It was so many quiet yeses from people who believed in a girl that they barely knew. People who are still out there, and people who are in this very room. And because of people like you, I got to walk through those doors as a Merucci freshman. My little sister, 6 years later, she got to do the same. To those people, you know who you are, thank you. I have never taken a single day for granted. We all know that Merucci doesn't just educate us. Merucci prepares us. When Merucci girls get to college, we don't just show up academically prepared, but we show up ready. I've seen it in other ways that other students work hard to catch up to. We show up different, confident, brave, unafraid to share our voices, and authentically ourselves. The swim team here at Merucci taught me time management and dedication. The rigorous academics taught me to hold myself to a high standard. The service work, like Merucci Make a Difference Day, taught me the importance of giving back to the community. Kairos really deepened my relationship with God. And maybe most importantly, Merucci has given me, and all of us, sisterhood. Those girls, those friendships, they became the foundation that I still stand on today. I've had the privilege of watching these women get married, become mothers, build careers, and nearly 10 years later, we still talk every single day, sharing life's greatest accomplishments and deepest heartbreaks. That is not just high school friendship. That is life built inside these walls that we carry with us far beyond that. And I wish that for every young girl. You have made that possible for me. So whatever you give today, it matters more than you know. There's a version out there of my life where that call, it never gets made. Where the funding doesn't exist. Where the answer is no. Where I go somewhere else and make the best of it, because I know that I would have. That's what I was raised to do. Find a way, keep going. But my mom, she also raised me to understand that needing help was nothing to be ashamed of. Because real community, real sisterhood, it's not about independence. It's about recognizing the people who make things possible for you and choosing to show up for them in that same way so that one day you can pay it forward, like I hope to be doing today. And here's what I also know. Not every girl has someone who fights for her the way I did. My mom made sure my sister and I understood something when we accepted that financial support. That what we were given was not ours to take for granted. And that somewhere out there, there's another girl lying in bed, picturing a life she doesn't think she could have. And that walking through these doors comes with a responsibility of never forgetting what it felt like to stand on the other side of them. I have not forgotten. When you get to this program, you're not just paying tuition. You are funding that phone call. You are giving someone the courage to try. You're giving a girl, maybe someone who has a fighter in her corner, maybe one who doesn't, permission to stop making peace with less. This past summer, I had the honor of speaking to my PA school class at graduation as class president. My graduation speech was built around a quote by Steve Jobs. You cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. When I look back now, and standing in front of you all here today, I can see it clearly. Every loss, every school change, every morning I chose to keep going. Every Mercy girl who became my friend. It all connects, it all leads here. And right in the middle of those dots, there's a car ride in the summer. A mom who refused to accept less for her daughter. And a school that said yes when it didn't have to. Thank you all for being part of that story. And thank you for making sure it keeps being told for every young girl like me. Thank you.
That is a hard act to follow.